What's up guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Empires guide. I'm Kalistos of State 119, and today I got something special for you. I know I haven't been posting a lot lately, but this is the reason why I've been working on a new project for you guys and for the channel, which is building a 3D first-person Rise of Empires world. And in this video we're gonna be discussing about all the ideas, the plans, how it started, where it's at the moment. So grab a hot coffee, roll a cigarette, and let's kick in the intro. Okay, so how did this entire idea start? Well, it all started with Rise of Empires. Look, I'm very aware that a game is a business. The reason why you're making a game is to make money out of it. And I have nothing against the fact of how they make money and how much money they're making. But considering the amount of money they're making, the fact that Rise of Empires is not even bothered of investing at all in the development of the game itself to give something back to the players is something that does bother me. The graphics can be muchly improved, events could be much more diverse, and the mechanics of the game can definitely be improved. But this is one thing that they are not concerned of, considering they just released another copy of the same game, this time with ants. Like what the hell is that? Either way, this frustration sparked the idea of building a 3D Rise of Empires world by myself. I wanted to show how one person with almost no experience in game development and 3D artistry can do such a thing, which means they could also do at least something more for the players. Now, when it comes to the experience in game development, I did try this before, and that was 4 years ago. And in a period of 3-4 months, I played around with anything regarding game development. Firstly, I started working in Unreal Engine 4, which is a game engine to learn how to develop a game. But the more I played in that, the more I realized for a game to be developed, you need to also learn how to make 3D objects which you're going to be needing in the game. So I started working in Maya to learn how to build 3D models. But the more I worked in Maya for 3D models, the more I realized that I need to learn how to sculpt models before I build them, because complex and detailed models require sculpting it before putting it in Maya and starting to build the final mesh if you want to do a good job. So I also learned how to work in ZBrush for it. By the way, just a quick side note, in the time I did learn how to use ZBrush and sculpting, this is my favorite model that came out. And I would really like you guys to tell me in the comment section below, what is your opinion of who this guy was supposed to be? Because I'm not gonna say who he is, because maybe he doesn't look at all like the character, but I still want to know your opinions on who do you think he is in the comment section. Either way, with the experience that I gathered in these 3-4 months, I managed to make my own game. It wasn't nothing special, it was literally one single level where I had the character spawned. You had a nice detailed world around you, small but still. Weapons on the floor which you could pick up. You had an inventory system, equipment system, basic info on the character like life, stamina when you were running fast, and a skill setup. And the level itself was literally just moving forward, climb a wall, jump down and encounter the final boss, which you had to fight and had different variation of skills attacking you. Now, any normal human being, when you start developing a game and you have absolutely no knowledge about anything regarding that, would say, okay, I should start small. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I shouldn't be doing things too complex. But I'm not a normal human being, and this is how my game looked like when I had absolutely no knowledge of developing a game. And that's not even all, because each function you see there had multiple functions included in it, and this is just for the character, not even gonna talk about the UI or the level and all the other stuff I've implemented in this one single level. Now when I built this, I literally built it just of how it looks and how it moves. I never packaged it as a game, but I will try to do that in the future weeks and maybe give you guys a glimpse of actually playing my first ever made game. And if that is successful, then it will be a great challenge to ask from you guys if you can defeat my boss in my game. But again, I still have to package it. For now, let's stick to the Rise of Empires. Okay, so this was my experience from before when it comes to game development, and it was time to put it into action for this concept. Now, the first idea was not making a game, but just creating a 3D world that resembles Rise of Empires. Then I thought it would be nice if you could actually get inside that world with your character so you can actually see it, like moving your head and so on. But then, if you could already do that, then you might as well have a character inside the world and move around and actually explore the world. And you can see how the ideas kept on going and kept on developing. Thankfully, at one point I did realize how much work and how much time I had to do this, and this was pretty much the last idea I stuck with. Create the Rise of Empires 3D world that you guys can join in and explore with the character. So the main world is gonna be inside the castle, and that's where the players are gonna have a chance of exploring the buildings and so on. I wanted to replicate the exact buildings from the castle itself, so I started with the most important one, which is the center castle, and I started building that in Maya, and it looked pretty promising till I got to the point where I started texturing it, and I realized it actually looks like a factory. And it's not because of the way I modeled it or because of the way the textures are set. Yes, those textures that you see there are just placed so I have a better idea of how the final product would look like. But even if I add all the extra details and work better with the texture, it's still gonna be a castle made out of red bricks, which for me is a damn factory. And if you look at the original skin in the game and you look at the colors, you pretty much get that that's supposed to be red brick. Who the hell makes a castle out of red brick? So, annoyed by the entire idea, I decided to literally scrap the entire model and start again by building this time a C25 as my inside castle. And here is the C25 modeling that lasted 2 hours, but this time you get it in only 2 minutes. So with the C25 done, I had to make the UV maps for it and texturize it, and it looks pretty fine. I still have to add the last details to it, but the main castle is done. The walls are there. I've also created the field where everything is going to be built on, and all the grass, trees and everything is going to come on. And I've also added the dragon with a few fun animations that make the world a bit more interactive. And I've also finished modeling and texturizing the arena from the castle. But this is pretty much the stage I'm in with the entire castle at the moment, and from here on I will continue developing extra buildings till I build up the entire world. So what's the final concept of this entire idea? Well, I personally will try to transform all this into a 3D world where all the Rise of Empires players can gather and interact with each other. This would be my dream, of making this not just a world that each individual person can explore and enjoy, but make it as a world for Rise of Empires players. So if everything goes well, all of you guys can meet each other, not on line chat, not on Discord, not on Viber, but you can all gather inside the same world you enjoy playing in every day and interact with each other, and I will try to add a lot of features that make it more exciting to do. Now, if you also want to take part in this process of building the world, you can do it by becoming one of my patrons. Becoming one of my patrons means you're also gonna take part in the development of this world. You're gonna be having access to the early stages of the game, so you can play it and give me feedback of all the things that need to be changed, improved, and what's fine, and help me make this world a reality for all the Rise of Empires players. You can also do that with the Buy Me a Coffee link, and both of them you're gonna be finding in the description below. As for the rest of you guys, I will try to post as soon as I make advances in the world, more updates about how it looks like and what else I've done in it. But for now, this is it. Remember, if you enjoy this type of content, leave a like, share it with your friends. Don't forget to comment all the things we discussed already in the video. Subscribe to get notified of everything else coming out. But that's it for me, guys. Thanks again for checking in, and I'll see you in the next videos.